Bringing in the news from around the globe and here in Sri Lanka. This is the news at 9. A very good evening to all our viewers. I'm Joel Outscoon.
And I'm Rahna Farooq. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Sri Lanka will not permit an international investigation on alleged human rights violations, a statement from the State Minister of Defence. Colombo and suburbs affected by heavy downpour. Met Department forecasts for more rain. Kit City Katapitiya remanded over the possession of an elephant without a permit. Sri Lankan Embassy requests Sri Lankan travellers to consult them before heading on pilgrimage to Lumbini due to looming protests in Nepal.
The city of Colombo experienced a downpour of 33.5 millimeters during the 24-hour period that concluded at 8:30 this morning. The heavy rainfall disrupted the flow of traffic in many areas of the city.
The time is now 3 in the afternoon. I am opposite the Department of Meteorology. The rainfall in the forecast of the Met Department for Colombo is at 33.5 millimeters. However, Colombo has been experiencing the downpour since last night. Residents of Colombo were extremely inconvenienced over this. The heavy rainfall, which was experienced since last night, hampered the flow of traffic in Colombo this morning. Almost all the access points to enter the city were congested. This morning, police issuing a communique requested drivers and commuters to use alternative routes as a result of the heavy traffic reported on Parliament Road. In addition, heavy traffic was also reported on the Gold Road, High Level Road, the Low Level Road and Baseline Road. Over the recent past, many roads in the city of Colombo were renovated along with the drainage system. However, water puddles were seen on many roads following the heavy downpour.
The main reason for this is that the motorists have to travel in the middle of the road due to the rainwater remaining on one lane of the road.
Employees, school students and many others who enter the city on a daily basis were severely inconvenienced as a result of the traffic congestion. Police were depending on the traffic light system in the city of Colombo to control the flow of traffic.
At times, the police officers would suspend the use of traffic lights and resort to directing traffic through hand signals. Based on the request made by the public, the automated traffic light system will be tested during these 2 days.
In its forecast, the Department of Meteorology said that the rainy weather could continue tomorrow as well.
We are now experiencing the final stages of the southwestern monsoon season. Windy conditions are normal as a result. Therefore, rainfall is expected in the western, Sabaragamu and central provinces and also in the Galle and Madra districts. The Colombo district is experiencing rainfall due to the strong winds that is experienced over the seas of the western coastal area. There is a tendency for the rains to develop in the western province tomorrow as well.
The court case that was filed against Shashi Weerawansa, the wife of former Minister Vimal Weerawansa, over fake passport was postponed to the 29th of January 2016. The Criminal Investigations Department informed court that advice has been sought from the HS Department on the documents that are required for the investigations. However, a request was made from court to provide more time as the HS Department was yet to advise the CID.
Central Bank bond issue unresolved. Issues surrounding the avant-garde security services unresolved. Case against Kampala Vidanage Samantha Kumar alias Velesuda unresolved. Case against Kumaran Padmanathan alias KP unresolved. Death of rugby player Wasim Tajuddin unresolved. Issues surrounding the outer circular highway unresolved. Pumping and dumping issue at the Colombo Stock Exchange unresolved.
Who should be responsible for these incidents? Who is at fault? Send us your thoughts on these incidents. Log on to our Facebook page by logging on to www.Newsfirst.lk/Facebook and share your thoughts.
The tragic death of Newsfirst reporter Priyantha Ratnayaka, who lost his life as a result of the human-elephant conflict, resulted in more attention being drawn towards this looming issue. Intervention by locals prevented a tragedy that would have cost lives in Mattala, Hambantota this morning.
This is the Hambantota-Mattala main road. Wild elephants that roam on this road have instilled fear in the hearts of the locals living in the area. A father was taking his son to preschool this morning and a single wild elephant had chased down their three-wheeler. The father who was driving the three-wheeler, who noticed the charging elephant, has attempted to drive on to the other side of the road. However, the three-wheeler veered off the road and toppled. The drivers of two tipper trucks braved the situation to prevent the wild elephant from attacking the three-wheeler. The 4-year-old boy, his father and another who were injured were admitted to the Hambantota General Hospital.
Loriya reverse එකට ගත්තා නම් හරි. Loriya reverse එකට ගන්න. අර loriya ගත්තා නම් හරි reverse එකට wheel එක පෙරළුණා. අනේ අම්මේ දරු පැටියකුත් ඉන්නවා. ඕකට නගින්න. ඕකට නගින්න. ඒකට නගින්නයි කියන්න. ඔයා ඔයගොල්ලෝ තුන්දෙනාද ආවේ? නගින්න අයියා.
According to the locals, several weeks ago, two three-wheelers had met with an accident when the drivers attempted to move away from a possible elephant attack. Over the years, wild elephant attacks in Mattala and the surrounding areas have increased rapidly. The area residents cite the deforestation for the construction of the Mattala airport and illegal acquisition of lands in the Hambantota district as reasons for the growing threat of wild elephant attacks.
There is a secure area on the airport road. We are helpless. One section of the forest is destroyed for the construction of the airport. The wild elephants come onto the road and the people have to pay for this with their lives. A herd of 9 elephants was sighted this morning. There are elephants on the road during the evening.
The issue does not limit to the south, but is also experienced in the central hills. Yesterday, wildlife officers were successful in capturing a wild elephant that had been terrorizing several villages, including Ududumbara. This was one of the elephants from a herd of 3 that had threatened the Ududumbara-Dambagapedia Thalagune area.
There is a coconut plantation above here. They destroyed 26 out of the 30 there. They put down the branches. You can hear them come by 4 in the evening. There are more. Please capture them and solve this matter.
Experts and those who study elephants says that the main reason for humans to fall victim to elephant attacks is because they are unaware of the dangers and they do not use tactics to lose the trail.
When the elephant charges, some attempt to run on the path of the elephant. You should not do that, but you should run in different directions to confuse the elephant. That will save lives. There are some elephants that get angered by the sight of the torchlight or the sound of a vehicle. Some even dislike colors. Therefore, you need to be aware of this. If we happen to run, we remove the scarf or the shirt we are wearing and we run. The elephant attacks those first. That will give us time to escape.
The Department of Wildlife Conservation says that the change in movement patterns of the elephants is also another reason for the increase in wild elephant attacks.
The dry seasons before the monsoon rains cause an unease among them. During this time, their movement patterns are different. They travel far and wide. They go in search of food and water. The human-elephant conflict reaches great heights during this period.
Newsfirst reporter Priyantha Ratnayaka lost his life in Min area where there is a growing threat of wild elephant attacks. The Newsfirst team inquired into the situation in the area today as well.
There is an ancient saying that Min area is always fertile and luxuriant. This area, famous as the land of the Min area gods, is respected by many even today. However, these paddy lands adjacent to the Rotavava in Min area speaks of the horrors the villagers face. The ideal person to speak of the hardships faced by these villagers in Min area is this man, the owner of this farmland, who goes by the name of Kalumama. During both the Yala and Maha seasons, the wild elephants did not spare a single grain of paddy or any vegetable that were grown here, forcing Kalumama to let go of farming. Min area is considered to be a sacred land, and he maintains a poultry farm solely for one single purpose, that is, to survive.
Why have they let the paddy lands be taken over by the wild? It is difficult to survive. The elephants issue has aggravated. The posts for the construction of electric fence have been brought here. However, it does not function. We do not know why.
It's difficult to survive. We have 3 children. We are helpless, and our only means of survival is a poultry farm. It's difficult to live day in and day out because of this issue.
Wild elephants storm into the villages from the Kaudulla Forest Reserve. This farmland will see a better harvest again when the authorities take measures to prevent the encroaching of wild elephants.
This is the tree fort set up by Kalumama to protect his cultivation. Now he has been compelled to abandon fort. It is the responsibility of the authorities to prevent the lives of the people from falling victim to wild elephant attacks.
The live recording of the Newsfirst Gum at the program, which will highlight the plight of these people, the victims of the human-elephant conflict, will take place tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the banks of the Min area tank.
The locals will be able to directly post their issues to the authorities and seek a solution. Newsfirst has taken the forefront in this initiative. We invite you to come here tomorrow at 6 p.m. to seek a solution to your issues.
Touching on a headline-making story, former opposition leader of the Western Provincial Council, Kitsuri Katapitiya, was remanded until the 14th by court today. He was remanded for possessing an elephant with fake documents. The Criminal Investigations Department had acted based on a complaint that was filed. Police said that during the investigation, Kitsuri Katapitiya surrendered himself to the Horana magistrate today.
The walk, which was organized to campaign for an international investigation into alleged human rights violations which commenced in Kilinochchi, reached Palai today.
The walk saw the participation of Northern Provincial Councillors M.K. Sivajalingam and Anandi Sasidaran. The 5-day walk is scheduled to be held in a number of areas of the Northern Province.
An
international inquiry is required. Justice will be meted out to the Tamil people only if that comes into effect. Those accountable need to be punished.
People
are rendering their support for this endeavour. This walk is being carried out in a successful manner.
Relatives of the disappeared in the Mullivaikal area joined the walk. Speaking to News1st, State Minister of Defence expressed the following views.
The
President and the Prime Minister have made it clear that we do not need to have an international investigation. We will conduct a domestic investigation. We have made the preparations for that. We have held discussions with the international community. The United States of America has expressed its faith that Sri Lanka can conduct a domestic investigation. We will implement it in the coming months. I do not think we require an international investigation. We will not permit an international investigation. The accepting of signatures of that initiative will bear no fruit.
Welcome back to the news. Still in local news this evening, several ministers of the new government assumed duties today.
Minister of Health Rajitha Senaratne assumed duties at the ministry today, and the event was presided over by President Maithripala Sirisena.
Many regulations have come into effect through the combination of blood, sweat and tears. Therefore, we need to establish a constitution in the country. That will be our objective for the future.
Ruwan Wijewardena assumed duties today as the State Minister of Defence, and the event was also presided over by the President.
National security will be our top priority. We hope to strengthen national security. My objective will be to look into the needs of the war heroes who defeated terrorism, that destroyed the country and render a great service to those servicemen.
Faiza Mustafa assumed duties as the Minister of Local Government and Provincial Councils following religious observances.
We are a national government and a consensual government. Therefore, we all have a responsibility. We must not only think of the party. As a national government, we need to give priority to the needs of the nation.
Sujiva Senasinghe assumed duties today as the Minister of International Trade amid the chanting of Pirith by the Mahasangha.
We have not been able to even manufacture a coconut scraper in the country for the past 20 years. We intend to manufacture electric cars, electric three-wheelers, electric trucks and electric trains in the country. We could manufacture all these in our country. Through these ministries, we hope to engage in these manufacturing processes.
Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Harshidi Silva too assumed duties today.
The main economic issue the country faces is the weakened economic relations with the international community. We need to work beyond Geneva. Through economic diplomacy, we hope to bring development to all people.
You're watching Primetime News. Still in local news, a police manhunt was launched to locate the suspect involved in the triple homicide in Udugampula. The decomposed bodies of a couple and their daughter believed to have been murdered several days ago were found yesterday.
I am opposite the house where a triple homicide that shocked the nation took place. This house is located at Galpotha in Minuangode. The police has already commenced investigations of the crime. Today, Newsfirst visited the scene of the crime to understand the current situation of the incident.
The owner of a poultry farm in Galpotha, Udugampula in Gampha, his wife and daughter were killed. The victims have been identified as 55-year-old Dharmasene Pereira and his 45-year-old wife Vimalavati Pereira. The body of their 4-year-old daughter Jalani Kavindya was found in an abandoned well in the poultry farm. He was a broker. We heard that he used to work at a temple. He was living here. People come here looking for him. He did not associate with us. That is why we did not feel anything unusual here. We have never seen the child on the road. She always travels in a three-wheeler. We have seen the mother carrying the child in the garden when she collects the fallen coconuts. There was one servant. We are sad that such an incident had taken place. They never associated us. They lived separately. Acting Police Media spokesperson SSP Priyantha Jayakudi said that one person who was employed at the poultry farm is reported missing. The lorry owned by the poultry farm owner too is reported missing. Police said that the servant had committed the crime and fled. A 56-year-old farmer was killed in the Modaravane area in Ambalipitia. Police said that he was shot from behind while heading home in a bicycle in the Gallamuna area. The deceased was K.M. Gunadasa, a father of 5. Police suspect that he was shot from a homemade gun which used a T-56 rifle bullet. Police said that the suspect in connection to the homicide has been identified and he had fled the area. Police believe that the murder may be a result over a land dispute. A Another homicide was reported from the Pulvattegoda area in Donangoda, Kaluthura last night. Police believe that the murder was the result of an escalated argument that took place at a party. The victim was a 47-year-old father of 4. The victim's son, who attempted to save the victim, was injured and hospitalized. A body with laceration marks was found in the canal behind the Kurunagala Teaching Hospital. The deceased was identified as 40-year-old Anthony Padman Vijendra Kumara from Bandaragala Vatta. Police said that the victim was one who repossesses vehicles when a buyer defaults on payments.
Starting off sports with some cricket news this evening, Minister of Sports Dayasiri Jayasekara says that the elections of Sri Lanka cricket will take place before December. He made this announcement during a visit to SLC headquarters today.
The minister, who arrived at SLC today, held a discussion with the interim committee of SLC and expressed the following views to the media.
Siddharth Vetumuni is not in Sri Lanka. After he returns, we will have a discussion with SLC. I hope to convene a discussion with the cricket clubs together with the Secretary, the Director General of Sports and the Ministry officials. We will complete the elections before December. We have mentioned it to the ICC and the ICC should have faith in us.
The footage you witnessed were of the grieving widow and children of the late Sub-Inspector Shelton Silva, who was killed in the accident in Minuwangoda yesterday. 5 Presidential Security Division personnel, including Shelton Silva, were killed in the tragic road accident.
The accident took place while the group was en route to a funeral in the Nikavati area. Remains of late SIM Shelton Silva are currently lying at his residence. Shelton Silva, who was a resident of the Galen Bindunuwava area, was a father of 3. He worked as a sergeant at the Presidential Security Division for 24 years and was promoted to the rank of Sub-Inspector 1 day prior to his death. Last morning he called and said that he got promoted to Sub-Inspector and that he's attending a funeral house and that he will be back afterwards. That is what he told. Then we got to know that an accident has taken place. He said that we can all be happy and live in this area. He said he can get a transfer after the promotion. Woman Police Constable Isuri Indunil Disanayaka, who was a victim of the accident, was 21 years at the time of her demise. The second in the family, she turned 21 on the day before she was killed in the accident. Police Constable Sahan Nayanjit Premadasa joined the police force in 2013. Sahan was the eldest of the family and was the brother of 2 twin sisters. His mother is a cancer patient and his father too is feeble. My other son died. I am filled with sadness. He was the only one there to care for me. What am I to do now? Sahan was the breadwinner of the family and was 21 years of age at the time of his demise. Police Constable Driver DM Ranjit Pushpakumara joined the police force in the year 2009 and was the father of an 8-month-old infant. His mortal remains are lying at his residence in the Hennegam area in Moragol Lagama. The body of Police Constable P.A.G. Sudhakara Niroshan Polgolla is yet to be brought to his residence. He was 24 years old at the time of his demise. The accident took place when a defender driven by the members of the Presidential Security Division tried to overtake a bus in a bend and collided with an oncoming bus. The area experienced downpour at the time of the accident. Area residents state that the location is a high-risk area and many accidents take place there. Accidents take place very often. If you change the position, the owner of the land is in favor of this. An